Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Listen, lean in close. I got something to talk about with you guys today um, in relation to dusty thinking. You heard me right. Dusty thinking. So lean in. For those of you who are new here, I'm Angela Hester. I'm with Priceless Empowerment. I am a therapist who absolutely simply loves what I do, who also understands the need for the conversation of feeling as though you are destined and called to do some amazing things out here, but you are just too drained, too tired, too depleted to carry them out. So listen. Lean on in. Stick with me. So listen, I was talking to someone the other day and they were trying to find language to their thinking patterns, right? They kept finding themselves, ruminating on the past, thinking about the past, replaying things, replaying contracts that they have accepted that they shouldn't, and really just not being tapped into their capacity. And so they just continue to, in some ways, kind of meet their end, or run on E. And so they labeled their thinking pattern as dusty thinking. And it stuck out to me so much so because I thought, you know what? Things that make you say, it made me say, because in some ways though, when you are stuck in this rut of this negativity and or this cycle of just over giving and over committing and not really taking the time to self-assess your own capacity, and you keep running on E. In some ways, doing those things, thinking in those ways, right, it drains you. It drains you. And what happens when something is just drained, when it's dry to the bone? It does become dusty, right? You can blow that thing right on and right on out, and dust comes out because it's sucked dry, right? It's almost like the analogy of the cup that's so dry that it has cobwebs, right? Dusty. And so I thought to myself, like, that was an interesting way of thinking about it. But it also made me think about you guys, and we're just coming off of 4 days of surrendering again, and I thought that that was incredibly powerful. If you had not had the opportunity to catch day one, two, three, or four, I encourage you to go back and to listen. But listen, today, when I was thinking about the dusty thinking, it made me think about this cognitive behavioral tool that I use, and you call many professionals call it different things, but I call it the three C's, or the big C's. Um, but sometimes it could be called something else. But I call it either the three big C's, or the big C's, and that is to catch it, to check it, and to change it. Right. So we're talking about how we can really kind of come together today in our dusty thinking, even if it's for the one, right? That dusty thinking, that negative thinking, right? Or again, that thinking of, I gotta do it, I gotta do it. If I don't do it, who else gonna do it, right? If I don't do it, right, I might feel a little guilty, or if I don't do it, right, that dusty thinking. We're gonna come in here and we're gonna talk a little bit about that, okay? So the first C, which is to catch it, it is to catch it, like you catching a football. You are going to catch it. So the first C refers to the process of becoming aware of the thinking process itself, right? This involves the reflective ability to realize that our thoughts are not fact, and the capacity to slow oneself down and reflect on one's thinking can be beneficial. right? So what I mean by that is when you find yourself in that cycle of thinking and or cycle of behaviors, right? Because when you find yourself in depletion, when you find yourself tired, it does start with those thoughts and those feelings, right? But it results in the behaviors, right? For continuing to go, to overcompensate, to overcommit, right? To not have boundaries, to not deal with your trauma that leads you to that. But when we were talking about surrendering again, it also talks about being able to identify and add language to what it is that you're going through, so you know what to change. Because sometimes you know you tired, you know you drained, but you like, I don't know how I got here. Right? I have been there. I have been in the looking in the mirror saying, I don't know how I got here. What happened? Right? So to catch it, to be able to identify when you're starting to have that negative thinking, or right when you're starting to have that negative behavior, right, or that negative action. So let me give you an example. Say for as an example, if a new contract comes up and is presented to you, but you know you already getting drained, you're already tired, right? You may not have the capacity, and you think, I want to do this. I mean, I can't do this, but if I don't do this, they may not offer it to me again. Or if they don't do this, who else is going to do it, right? If I don't do this, they might get upset with me because I always take on the contracts, right? Being able to stop yourself and say, wait a minute, that might be a little bit of dusty thinking going on. I'm kidding with you guys on the dusty thinking. I know it's not a clinical term, but however, we're applying it here today. Right? But being able to catch it, to say, up there I go, there I go, thinking about the negative outcomes and not thinking about the reality. And the reality is I do not have the capacity. The reality is I'm already tired off of whatever else I'm already given to, right? So that's what it means to be able to catch it. And then you have the second one, which is check it. And I know I'm looking over here, but I don't want to lose track of what I'm trying to say. And I'm on here and I'm taping, so I'm referring to my notes a little bit. But check it is referring to the process of asking two primary questions. I love asking clients these questions and presenting these questions to them. And that is about the justification process, right? Is this accurate, right? This thought process, what I'm thinking about, is this accurate? The actions that I want to take, does this align, right? And is it helpful? And oftentimes, if you are finding yourself destined and depleted, tired, burnt out, agitated, irritated, and all those things above, then is it accurate, right? In terms of you doing it, you committing, you not having them boundaries, you not addressing that trauma, then it's going to be like, no, this is not accurate. This does not align with my reality. And is it helpful? No, it ain't. It's not. It's not. Because you're already tired. You're trying to understand and identify what your capacity is looking like, right? And if you're already feeling drained and tired, you're already getting those God nudges, right? The feelings in your hands, the feeling in your stomach, right? Then it's time to really assess and say, you know what? I don't think this is the right time. This does not align, right? That can be a third question, not attached to this model, but just what I'm telling you right now. That can be does this align? Is it accurate? If I do this, what I'm thinking, is it accurate? Is it helpful? But also, does it align? Does it align with my reality right now? That's something to really think about. And then the third C is change it, right? So changing is being able to, in some ways, develop a better way of thinking, a healthier way of thinking, a more positive way of thinking. In this case, because again, these are things that you are not going to do overnight. I still work at these things every single day. So please know that. But being able to change it, to change that thought pattern, to replace it with something more positive. In this case, though, I would want you to really just hold on to the reality, right? So if we go back to the second C, which is check it, right? Asking those questions: is it helpful? Is it accurate? Right? And then C in this instance can really be: does it align with the reality? Does it align? Because that will tell you, that will slow you down so that you can gain the perspective needed to either insert a boundary, to stop yourself, to assess your capacity, so that in the long term, you're not running on that E, you know? So, dusty thinking is what we do not want to have. But being able to apply the catch, check, and change process to our lives can be very beneficial. And again, it's not going to come overnight. So I'm not here to say, oh, do this today and you're going to see everything is going to change in a crazy way tomorrow. But it is that at some point you have to start putting things in place for maintenance, so that you're just not out here tired, right, and depleted, right, and not being able to go forth and sustain and maintain. So dusty thinking, and what we gonna do about it? We gonna catch it, we gonna check it, and we going to change it, right? Because we have to start somewhere, right? But hey guys, that was on my mind today. I wanted to share that with you guys, and I wasn't sure, because I said I don't know if they'll be able to receive some dusty thinking, right? But that dusty thinking is something that many of us either are guilty of or have been guilty of. But there's a tool for you to be able to try to ponder on, you know, just some food for thought, right? Some tools to add to your bag of becoming whole and healthy so that you can sustain and maintain. I love you guys. I really, really do. I love you guys for putting up with me. And listen to me. If you are not doing well today, I really pray that you are on your way, because guess what? Our God, oh, He is such an amazing God who can do some absolute amazing things. He is so patient. He comes with that presence that feels like He's wrapping His arms around you. Oh my goodness. So if you are not doing well today, I pray that you are on your way to doing well, because our God He's amazing. He is so awesome. But I thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey guys, add this to your journals. Just some quick notes from today. Number one, catch it. Take note of your negative thoughts and non beneficial actions. Number two, check it or check in. Are my thoughts accurate? Will my actions be helpful? Does this align with my reality? And number three, change it. If this thought and this action does not align with my reality, I need to change that thought or action by tuning into the realities of self and what the self needs. Take care.